Hey guys, today here we have our first war back in SSX, and for this war we've got a 10 fight Doom war, with the full Doom Trinity, Doom, Reed, and Diablo. You get 12% attack, some crit damage rating, and then armor breaks and guaranteed crits on heavies for Doom with this Trinity, and considering it's an R5 Doom and I'm punching down ranks for most of this, things are very, very easy. I'm really loving this Trinity. Yeah. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat real quick. But yeah, this Trinity is making things super easy right now. And of course, the Reed and Diablo are beasts in their own right too. So yeah, probably gonna end up using this like all season. So that'll be fun. And yeah, Knull was up first. I didn't really talk through the fight because it's basically a nothing fight. For Warlock, I kind of just want to limit hits, doing mostly heavies, and special twos. That was my plan, just so I wouldn't have to deal with the AR from infection. It probably doesn't matter if I had to deal with it, but when you can completely avoid it, that's great. So we start off by eating a combo. That's fantastic start, of course. And then we do our L2. And I didn't have Mystic Powerbacks on for this, so I knew the fight wasn't going to go super quick or anything. But that did a really good amount of damage, so I was like, okay, yeah, give it another L2 and the fight's probably over. And that's basically where we're at right here. And yeah, we've got our L2 back whenever this armor up comes back, and yeah, that's the fight over without even getting an infection, which was pretty nice. Again, the infection wouldn't have mattered, but yeah. Then we've got a Wong on node 19. Pretty easy fight here as well. The Diablo synergy really makes this easier, just because you're doing so much damage even before your L3, and it just makes it a lot quicker. This is also an R3 Wong, and it's an R5 Doom, so I was basically never going to die here. You can see my PI is almost as high as the Defender, so that says all that needs to be said. Here, we accidentally missed a parry, so that was just on me, not inputs. I just missed the parry, so he got the heavy off, but it's no big deal. We got our L3 now, and we're ready to just end the fight. Yeah. And I'm gonna get off another heavy after this L3, you're gonna see fucking 32k crit. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Then we have a Gorr on 23. This was probably the fight I was the most worried about, just because I hate the 23. Not really hate, it's just, it always gives me problems, you know. Yeah, difficult node, and usually, but the trick here is to just get your L3, and as you can see, that's not very hard to do. So, yeah, um, this fight is so fucking funny. I love it. You could just see it. Game plan, get all three. What's not very hard to accomplish. um, yeah. That's the entire fight. Just throw one, throw all three. Next up we have a Reed versus Peni on 23. This is just Power Slang. This is a little bit of a slow fight because I kind of play it overcautiously for Reed, and it ended up me not really, you know, handling it as well as I should have. This is just an R3 Peni, so it should be very quick, but I didn't play good enough. You know, if this was a hard fight, I definitely would have had problems here, but thankfully it's just a Peni, so it's not a worry. But yeah, Peni on 25, pretty easy fight. You have tactic, and Peni is defense tactics. So that part just kind of cancels it out, and it's just a power stack Peni, which I've done a bunch of times on node 22, and this has less health than node 22, so yeah. We get our first L2 up, but we don't refresh debuffs with that, of course, because she auto blocks. So we have to refresh right now. We do get the refresh off, which is nice, and now we do have our focus up. So I mean our careful study up, which is nice. But yeah, just a bit of a slow fight, and yeah, not the best play for me, but it is what it is. It definitely felt really bad at the time, but looking back, it doesn't seem that bad. I just played a little bit overcautious. So yeah, now we're gonna break Peni's shield just so our next L2 doesn't get auto block. This is unnecessary, but I decided that was probably a little bit quicker, so yeah. And as you can see, this fight is going very easily. Not really much to worry about there. What do I have next? Yeah, Man-Thing 128. This is very easy with Reed. I could have used Diablo as well, but I just decided to use Reed. No particular reason, just felt like using Reed for it. Yeah, Reed has a pretty easy time here. Yeah. I'm popping a PS1, but it is mostly for the P99 and not really for the Man-Thing. Yeah, not really much to say about this Man-Thing. It's, just a Man-Thing with Reed, so. The neutralize does help stop some of the pustules, as you can see. Some still end up sticking, but it stops a few of them. So, I wouldn't rely on it as, being able to use anyone as a Man-Thing counter, but if they're usually gonna do decent against Man-Thing, it can make things a little bit easier. So yeah, there's that. In our next fight, this Punisher 99, it was an R3, so I felt like this was a good opportunity to test it. I actually forgot about Punisher 99's power lock before the L3 thing, which was pretty bad. Um, ended up me, um, ended up in me throwing a special 2 at a block, and I mean, I knew about it, I didn't forget about it, I just didn't have it in my mind as I was fighting Punisher 99, So yeah, here we're letting Furious stack just to make sure we can get a bit of extra drain from our L2. And then we hit block. So yeah, here I meant to be eating the entire thing. I did mean to block that. Gave him 2 prowess, which worried me a little bit. Honestly, I was a little bit worried about the 2 prowess there. It's not unblockable yet. I was meaning to eat it, so the unblockable part doesn't really matter. I was just worried about the actual prowess, meaning extra damage, that part itself. But yeah, it's an R5 dip, and we haven't even done anything, and the fight's almost over, basically. Yeah. Very easy fight, of course. Even with me playing like shit, it's an R5 dip. And next up on this Rintrah, I played really bad on this Rintrah as well. Diablo synergy helps a lot for this Rintrah, just to make it a bit easier. Because it means not all of your damage is coming from your L2. Since Rintrah has crit resist, your basics usually don't do very much damage. But when you have guaranteed crits with that Diablo synergy, your basics, I mean, not your basics, your heavies can do some good damage, which is quite nice. Yeah, 19k heavies is very solid. Yeah, well, you can see we already got him 20% down, and, for what at one point was thought of as a timeout fight, it's, that's very good. Yeah. Probably should have thrown an L2 there, but it didn't end up doing that. Well, just waiting patiently because Rintrah has given me bad AI. Which is the usual. You expect that from Rintrah, but yeah, it's slightly annoying. Yeah. Eat a combo here, doesn't really matter. And yeah, we get an L3 off here just because I felt like getting it off because he was giving me annoying AI and I didn't want to deal with that. So yeah. Special 3s are a bit slower than special 2s, technically, but I don't really care. So yeah. And there you go with another L2 off after the L3. Pretty solid damage from that, honestly. Get a heavy to bring down the mystical charges, bait an L2. Thankfully, he actually threw it this time. And yeah, we get a nice intercept there, and at this point, we're pretty much ready to end the fight. Yeah. Just waiting for him to dash in, we throw our L2. Yeah, fight's over. Now, next up, we have a Node 50 Guardian with them. This is about as easy of a fight as it gets. Don't really know why this is placed. But yeah, just a Doom fight. We nullify his armor, so there's no energy resist or anything. It's a nothing fight. You can see I didn't even heal up from 90% there. That's how confident I was going into this, punching down a rank. So yeah, we're building up to our L3. I want to go for an L3 into L2, and then just spam L2s as I need to finish it off. That's the basic fight plan. That's the way I usually like doing these safeguard fights. I just feel the L3 to start just gives some AI control, and then you can figure things out afterwards. Yeah. But yeah. First L2 does a good amount of damage. He does throw a cell once, so I can't nullify this armor, which took away a bit of the incinerate damage, but as you can see, Guardian is down to 50% at this point, so we're keeping good pace. Yeah, baiting some more L1s, staggered the armor up there, which is great. And then just another L1, and then we're going to do an L2, and that will be the last L2, I believe. And yeah, fight over. And yeah, next up we have a Node 53 Weapon X with Diablo. Originally we had a Nimrod assigned, but we ended up changing some other assignments, so we no longer had a Nimrod on the map at all. But I had a pretty good strategy I thought of with Diablo that I was quite confident in, and you will see that strategy, and it will go exactly as I planned for it to go. So yeah. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters, Mega, Senior Dunny, and OG Highline. Oh, and Mikey. Yeah, I really appreciate the support. It helps out the channel a lot. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into the season. Probably going to be using the Doom Read Diablo team a lot and getting a fuck ton of fights, which is always great. Yeah, hope you guys have a good time. In your seasons as well, if you're playing Alliance War.